to start off real quick just to orient everybody. Let me see if I get my screen going. We're going to do a couple of things on the computer, and then we're going to leave the computer, go outside or grab something in nature, do some journaling, and then we're going to come back and see what everyone discovered. Okay, does that sound like a good idea? All right, so I'm going to share my screen. And so yes, I'm so grateful. Thank you for the invitation and partner with the Pacific Grove Museum of Natural History. So nature journaling is about observing nature and then putting what we see in nature on a piece of paper, right, in your journal. So it is about exploring things that are maybe outside, or it could be a house plant, it could be something from your refrigerator. And we're going to use a combination of drawing pictures and writing words. And if you're still learning how to write, you have your grown-up that's going to be there that can help you out. So you can maybe ask them to write some things down, and the grown-up can be the scribe, right, and help you write onto your journal. And by drawing and paying attention, we get to see so many things about nature that maybe we wouldn't see if we weren't journaling it. So here's just a few different ways that a journal page could look. And then, you know, I also encourage the grown-ups to keep a nature journal too, and we can do this together as a family. That makes it so much more fun. And anyone can keep a nature journal. You don't have to have any kind of special skill. So here's some pages from some students that have done some journal pages, and they're popping in what they've seen outside. And they sometimes will bring nature into the classroom or bring your home. This student had some sourgrass, and she's writing down what she's noticing. Maybe it's bugs outside that you see that you might draw. And we're gonna, this is just some other samples of different ways that a journal page could look. And you could look at a flower close up, or a pine cone, or pine needles. So there's all different kinds that you can see in nature. And so we're going to start with a couple things. One is a fun drawing practice, and it's called the blind contour drawing. So I'm going to share my my screen, and I'm going to show you my notebook at the same time. So let me just give me one moment. All right. Can you see my notebook here? And let me move this over. All right, and the dog. Okay, we're gonna do an exercise called blind contour, and we're gonna look at the dog. So you're gonna watch this dog with your eye, and you're gonna pet the dog with your eyeball, just go around his ears and his head, and go around his face, and then around his legs. And while your eye is going around the dog, your hand is going to draw a picture of the dog on your paper. But the trick is, you're not gonna look at your paper. So can everyone try that? So you're gonna look at the dog, and then just look at the ears and over the head, and your hand is just gonna draw. And don't worry about what the picture looks like. It's going to look a little bit silly, and we're all gonna have a good laugh after we do this. So, and I'm gonna look around, and I'm looking at his paw, his front paw, down to his little toes. And then I'm looking up at his other paw, and around to the back of his leg. All right, and give me a thumbs up when you're finished with your contour drawing. Yeah, okay, so now look at your picture. Does it look kind of silly? Yeah, we should all laugh. It's gonna look silly. Why did we do this? Why did we draw a picture without looking? Yeah, it's because we're getting our brain and our hand are gonna work together, right, this is going to help us see things a little bit better. So this is just a fun exercise. And adults or caregivers, you can do this yourself. Is a really great practice to train your eye, hand, and brain to work together to improve your drawing skills. And you can do this alongside with your kids. Just challenge yourself. You can even grab a coffee mug or a leaf and just do this for fun and have lots of laughs. And you're going to be improving your drawing skills at the same time. All right, how about this? Let's do another one. And we're going to do this with the snail. You think we can give this one a try? So let's try it again. I'm going to put my pen on the page and I'm going to trace the snail. And I'm not going to peek at my paper because I'm just going to keep my eye on the snail. So I'm noticing, oh, look at these. How many antennae do I see? Wow, did you guys all know that there were 4 antennae on a snail? There's little tiny eyeballs up on top. And don't worry about all the little details and the wrinkles. Just get some, like the big basic shape and of the snail. And we're just practicing making our eye and our hand work together. All right, give me a thumbs up when you've got your snail on your page. Yeah. All right. Okay, I think we have one more animal. We got a frog. All right, and don't worry if you've never drawn one of these before, because you're going to just be looking with your eyes and drawing this frog. So he's got lots of toes, so I think I'm going to start with his head. I'm going to draw over his big bulgy eyeball and over his nose and around his mouth, and I'm going to go back around for his eye. Let's see, I'm going to do his front leg. Oh, look at their toes. Did you notice they have little balls, the ends of their fingers? And his back legs are all folded up. All right, and the adults here not to worry about what your drawing is looking like, because what's important is that we're practicing getting our eye and hand to work together. Okay. And your picture might look like a whole pile of squiggles like spaghetti, and that's totally okay. All right. The thing is that you've did the effort. Oh yeah, Julianne and Macy. Yeah. All right. And if this, you could do this anytime, and you can do it from a picture or you can do it from real life. You could, like, maybe you could draw your hand. So you could look at your hand and do a blind contour of your hand. Or if you have a teddy bear, you could put your teddy bear on the table and sketch your teddy bear. So these are fun exercises you can try. All right, so next I'm going to show you, I'm going to go over to my camera, and I'm going to give you some ideas on what you can do when we're outside today. If you have access to an outside space, you can go out and take a look at what's out there. I went outside my garden, and this is a weed that was growing in between the cracks of my driveway. So maybe you might have some nature growing outside somewhere. You could also go to your refrigerator, and maybe there is a lettuce leaf or a kale leaf. Kale was really cool. I don't know if you guys eat kale. Maybe your grown-ups do. A leaf of kale could be good. For right now, you can watch what I do. I'm going to give you, how about if I put this leaf down here, and you can draw from what you see on the camera. So how many leaflets do you see on here on the stem? So I'm counting 1. There's 2 here. And then there's 1. Look how this one looks a little bit bigger. So you can pick, you can count. So I'm going to count, here's 1, 2, and 3. And then you can notice the things that are on your leaf, right? This leaf has edges that are kind of bumpy, have little teeth. Sometimes leaves has wavy edges, and other leaves have smooth edges. This one has a smooth edge. Right? So you can draw that, and then if you wanted to put the word leaf on here, if you're able to write your letters, you can write that in. Or if you are still learning your letters, maybe you can sound out the first letter and write it on there. And then your helper can help you with writing the rest of the letters. And then when you do this with your grown-up, we're going to take a break in about 5 minutes, and you're going to go do this on your own. But what you can notice is, so the grown-ups can pay attention, you can prompt by asking, what do you notice about this leaf? You can count the leaflets. Like this one, I don't know if you can see, but it's got thorns all over it. So I'm not going to touch it because this is a blackberry leaf and it's very thorny and prickly. So you can write down what you notice, maybe the color. Is it bumpy or smooth, right? And then maybe you get curious, like, I wonder why it has so many thorns. So I wonder, I'm just writing these out as prompts so that the grown-ups can help with, what do you wonder about the nature treasure that you're going to draw? And I'm gonna write these thorns here, and I'm gonna write thorns. And there's 3 leaves. I could put 3 leaves. I've counted 1, 2, 3. And maybe your leaf just has 1, or maybe it has more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice the colors of these. Are they all the same color green? Are they all the same color? Yeah, isn't that interesting? That in nature, green comes in different shades. So maybe you can describe, my leaf is dark green, or my leaf is purple. This one's purple, isn't that cool? Or my leaf is like a yellow green. And here's another fun thing that we can do. If you have printer paper, or if your sketchbook is a thin paper, you can put your leaf. So did you see what I did? You take your leaf and turn it upside down so the back side is facing up. Your back side is facing up. And then put a piece of, it could be just printer paper. And then you can take a crayon. I'm going to peel the paper off of this crayon because I want to use the edge. Uh-oh, should have done this earlier. Hold on one moment. Oh, I wish I had little hands here that can help me. Anyone experienced doing this? This is really stuck on. Oh dear. All right, I think that's maybe good enough. Okay, let's figure out, okay, where did I put my leaf? Oh, my leaf is right here. So I'm gonna hold down my paper and I'm gonna take the edge of my crayon and lightly go over it. And see, can you see how the leaf is coming up? If you use a darker crayon like blue or purple or brown, it'll work a little bit better. And see, I've got an impression of my leaf. And so this could go alongside my my drawing. I'm going to redraw it here. So here's my blackberry leaf with all the thorns sticking out. And then you can draw what you notice. I'm noticing lots of veins. And you can do that with all these other leaves. These will all make nice impressions. So you can experiment when you go out and say, which one of these leaves makes the nicest impressions? Oh, look at this. This one's really pretty. Right? And then I might count how many leaves are there and what color this is. So maybe I do a rubbing and then I can color this in with green or whatever color your leaf is. You can use crayons or colored pencils, and this one has kind of zigzaggy edges. So you can use your detective skills and look very closely at what you notice on your leaf. So this is a nice start to going out into nature and looking for a nature treasure. We did this with leaves, but you could do this with a rock. Sometimes a rock you can put under your paper and get a rubbing. Let's see if this is gonna work here. So you're getting kind of the bumpy texture of the rock, right? You can do this with all kinds of things. So I'm going to invite you to go out. If you're able to go outside in nature and collect something, and if you can't go outside, then go look around the house and see. I bet you have some nature treasures. Who has nature treasures around the house? Like little shell or pine cones or stones. Yeah. And so maybe if you can't go outside, you can focus on one of your nature treasures and then get to know it a little bit better. So you can draw a little picture, and your grown-up helper can help you with asking you questions about what do you notice about this, right? And the things that you notice might be, if you were telling your friend, let's say, if you were telling someone over the telephone, although I don't know if you guys use a telephone, but if you were describing this leaf to someone who's not with you, who can't see the leaf, how would you describe the leaf? Right, so that's kind of a way to get some observations. So notice what you're seeing about the leaf, and drawing it with the pictures with whatever marker or crayon or pencil that you have, and then coloring it if you have colors, and noticing what shapes and textures you see, and your grown-up can help you put some words on the paper. And grown-ups, just follow your child's lead. Whatever they're curious about, go along there with them. Like, come back to your inner child and just explore. And ask questions and see what you can discover about your nature subject. So